بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Last week, I think we had started uh, discussion on page number 26 of chapter 2. And we were just continuing with the idea that Dr. Fadil had mentioned, on how the sentence construction of the Quran, bunyat al-kalima, how the words are constructed, how the words are made up, how the words are, the makeup of the word, if you will. And the first topic that he introduced was the usage of a fi'al, a verb, and the usage or the difference between using a verb and a noun, using a jumla fi'aliyya and a jumla ismiyya. What implication does it have? And he went on to give several examples, and we looked at those different examples. And I think we're going to continue with even more examples that he's going to give. All right. So, Fawzi, I don't know if you're ready.
Yes.
Okay, great. So let's continue.
Should I start reading?
Yes. فمن ذلك
فمن ذلك قوله تعالى يخرج الحي من الميت ومخرج الميت من الحي ذلكم الله فأنا تؤفكون فاستعمل الفعل مع الحي فقال يخرج واستعمل اسم مع الميت ميت فقال مخرج وذلك لأنه أبرز صفات الحي صفات الحي حركة وتجدد فجاء معه تجدد والتجدد فجاء معه بصيغة الفعلية الدالة
التي على
الحركة والتجدد ولأن الميتة في حالة حمود وسكون وثبات جاء معه بصيغة الاسمية الدالة على الثبات فقال ومخرج الميت من الحي.
Yeah, let's pause there for a bit and then let's see what we can be able to accomplish today. Okay, so I'm just gonna read that again. So فمن ذلك قوله تعالى يخرج الحي من الميت ومخرج الميت من الحي ذلكم الله فأنى تؤفكون. فاستعمل الفعل مع الحي فقال يخرج، واستعمل الاسم مع الميت فقال مخرج، وذلك لأن أبرز صفات الحي الحركة والتجدد، فجاء معه بالصيغة الفعلية الدالة على الحركة والتجدد، ولأن الميت في حالة حمود وسكون وثبات ولأن الميت في حالة همود وسكون وثبات جاء معه بالصيغة الاسمية الدالة على الثبات فقال ومخرج الميت من الحي. So maybe just a few corrections. You said فاستعمل الفعل استعمل هو استعمل ماذا استعمل الفعل. What did he use? It answers the question what. So الفعل الاسم. Okay, so either you can say it referring to the Quran, it used, or he used referring to Allah, Allah used, right? So what is Dr. Fadil saying here? Dr. Fadil is saying that if you look at the ayah of Surah Al-An'am, يخرج الحي من الميت ومخرج الميت من الحي, you can see that he used الحي من الميت with يخرج, with a verb. So he says فاستعمل الفعل مع الحي, يخرج الحي. Okay, comes together. And then when it comes to the dead, he used مخرج, which is an ism. So you can see here there's a fi'al, here there's an ism. And he says, why is this the case? He says, ذلك لأن أبرز صفات الحي. That is because the most prominent feature or characteristic or attribute of the living is what? Movement, is renewal. Every day you wake up, something like if you see a plant coming out, the sign of life is what? It comes out, it keeps on renewing and regenerating, and new leaves are coming out. That is the sign of life. Or life is movement. Life is not still. You're moving here, you're moving there, the trees are blowing. That is a sign of life. But when something is dead, when a fly drops dead and you see it, it is motionless. Humud, it is motionless, it is still, it does not move. Wasukun, and it is quiet and still. Wathabat, and it is permanent and established. There's no regeneration, there's no renewal, there's no movement, there's nothing like that. And because of death having this quality of stillness and permanence and motionlessness, he used he brought the nominal sentence. He used the الصيغة الاسمية. He used the noun instead of a فعل. الدالة على ثبات, that indicates establishment of a matter, that indicates something has already been completed, done and dusted, done with. فقال ومخرج الميت من الحي. So he said the extractor of death from the living, right? So that's the gist of what Dr. Fadil is saying. Is أبرز تفضيل or verb. أبرز is تفضيل, اسم تفضيل. لأن أبرز صفات الحي, and that's why صفات will be here مجرور, because it is مضاف إليه. Yes, it is اسم تفضيل here. The most prominent. And also you can know that it cannot be a verb. How can you know that it cannot be a verb? Because you see you have لأن before it. لأن comes with an ism. It has to have a victim. So the victim of لأن, it has to be a noun, and it has to be so that's why this is أبرز is اسم تفضيل. All right. I hope that explanation was clear. Unless there's a question on. Yes.
It's well, alhamdulillah. But what I was thinking, but your explanation fits well, alhamdulillah. What I was thinking is that is harakatu wa tajaddud ismu anna, like, for example, because the motion and the renewal, and if you talk about the fail abrada, it means to bring out something. So the harka and the renewal was brought out as the sifa of haya. This is how I was looking at it.
Okay. So yeah, the fact that li'anna comes before it, then therefore you have to have an isim li'anna and a khabar li'anna. So at the end of the day, either if you're going to look at this as isim li'anna, then this will be the khabar of li'anna. But I don't see the point in making the khabar all the way there. Oh, sorry, the isim all the way there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It sounds more easier to comprehend. Alhamdulillah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Any other clarifications or questions? Okay. So let's look at the i'rab of this paragraph here. Ta we've come across fa a million times. So here is isti'nafiyya because it comes at the beginning of the sentence and we don't see it, like you can't exactly connect it to before. So we can say this is the beginning of a new sentence. So fa isti'nafiyya min harf jar, therefore ذلك becomes the ism majroor. So together this is our muta'alliq bil something, right? Because it's jar majroor. And then we have qawluhu. So qawl is an ism. So this becomes our mubtada, right? So this is our mubtada, and therefore this is our muta'alliq bil khabar. And of course the khabar is mahdhuf, right? قوله تعالى, and of course the ta'ala goes back to the dhamir there, okay? His statement, exalted be he, right? And that means that whatever comes after this قوله تعالى is the مقول القول مفعول به, okay? What, sorry, the khabar. What did I just say? I said the khabar is mahdhuf. Sorry, this whole thing it will be the khabar, whatever the statement comes after it. So you have the mubtada and then the khabar, right? So this whole thing, yeah.
How is khabar mahdhuf here? Why is it
Yeah, I made a mistake. It's not mahdhuf. This statement is the khabar. So
statement is the
فمن
khabar?
ذلك, no, why am I confused?
Because we already got mutaliq bil khabar. So is it necessary that all the time we should have khabar?
No, normally when you have a sentence where the with a muta'alliq bil khabar and you can't find the khabar, then the khabar is mahdhuf. For example, if I said
And
what?
it's a badal of the qawluhu sallam yukhrijul hayya min al mayyit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking also.
Yes.
It sounds like a button. Yeah.
Yes, I was a bit confused there. Sorry. Yeah. So, for example, min dalika qawluhu. That's not the best. I'm thinking of. Let's say, for example, if I said huwa fil bayt. Huwa fil bayt. So huwa is my mubtada. Fil bayt is muta'alliq bil khabar. So where is the khabar? The khabar is mahdhuf. So huwa mawjudun fil bayt. That is the intended meaning. He is present in the house. So normally when you have this muta'alliq bil khabar, they normally say the muta'alliq bil khabar mahdhuf if the khabar is not mentioned in the sentence. So normally you have something like that. And yes, you're right. This statement is the badal of qawl. Yeah.
Khabar is understood, right? It's mahdhuf means it should be understood, right, Sister Lab?
Yes, it is understood. Yes.
Sister
it is
Lab, what kind of badal is this?
Badal al-kull.
What badal?
So you can replace, yeah, you can replace this entire قوله with this entire statement. You can say فمن ذلك يخرج الحي من الميت ومخرج or it could be actually what is it called? عطف بيان. Yeah, so بدل الكل and عطف بيان, they kind of go hand in hand together most of the time. So you can find that if something is a badal, it can also be عطف بيان. But if something is عطف بيان, it cannot be a badal. Like there's that, maybe we can refer back to the badal notes, but it can also be عطف بيان.
Would you mind me just telling a short sentence about ataf bayan, Sister Lab?
Okay, let's go back to the notes of badal, because I also need this revision. It's been so long. When did we learn about badal? Okay. Okay, let's go. Atif bayan. So, definition, what that behaves like a badal, however, it does not replace the mubdal minhu, partially or wholly, rather it gives more information to it. So it just gives more information to the mubdal minhu. The thing that you want to replace, it just adds more information to it. So what kind of a statement are we talking about? This is because look, there's so many statements of Allah. So this is clarifying. It's more like a clarifier, if you will. Atif bayan. It gives more information to what you're trying to say. Now, the thing about atif bayan is that you cannot remove the mubdal minhu and replace it with the atif bayan. You cannot do that. You need the mubdal minhu. You need what you're replacing. It has to be there. And then you give more information to it. Then this becomes atif bayan. But badal al-kull, بدل الكل, you can remove the مبدل منه and replace it with the بدل, and the sentence will still make sense. So let's look at a couple of examples here. So for example, in عطف بيان, if I say الخليفة علي كان رجل يخاف الله. كان رجل يخاف الله. If I remove the علي and I just said الخليفة, because now here this is Ali is the عطف بيان, but if I remove the عطف بيان and I just say الخليفة كان رجل يخاف الله, then you start questioning, answering which Khalifa? There are so many Khalifas. Are you talking about Abu Bakr, Umar, Ali, Uthman? Which Khalifa are you talking about? Who's the person? So you have to bring in the atif bayan, and you cannot remove it because it adds more information to Khalifa. I'll give you another example. Let's look at the second one. أرسل الله نبيه صالحا عليه السلام إلى قوم مجرمين. أرسل الله نبيه. If I just said أرسل الله نبيه and I removed the عطف بيان صالحا, which is providing more information, and I just say نبيه, there are so many prophets that have been mentioned. Which one are you referring to? And now you see there's more ambiguity that is created. So I bring in the عطف بيان to clarify who I'm speaking about. Okay, and of course you can see that if I treat this as a badal, if I treat صالحا as a badal, I can actually replace أرسل صالحا. I can replace أرسل الله صالحا. I can replace the whole thing نبيه with صالحا. So either it could be بدل الكل or عطف بيان. That is why they're very closely related, depending on how you look at it. So you can easily replace. I can remove Khalifa and just say Ali كان رجل يخاف الله. But if I do that, how many Alis do you know? You know so many Alis. So you'd be like, huh, you're talking about my neighbor Ali, my cousin Ali, or the Khalifa Ali? Like, who are you talking about? So that's kind of why Atuf Bayan, you cannot remove it in the sentence. The Atuf Bayan has to exist. But the Badal, you can easily replace it. Like just we saw this example here. You can say, Arsalallahu Salihan. You can do that. You can replace the Badal with the Mubdal Minhu and you will understand what it means. And also because we know that Saleh was a prophet, and of course Allah is the one who sent him. So in this particular sentence, for example, you can have Saleh as both Badal and Atif Bayan. So there's that intricate relationship between that. Okay. Is that clear, Sayyidah Fahima?
Yes, it's clear. Jazakallah khair.
Oh, yeah, cool. Okay, let's go back to
in the
this.
text that we've just read. In the text that we've just read, this would probably be considered ataf bayan because if you remove the badal, the sentence should still be sound. But
Right.
in this case, would it be sound if we remove the badal?
Yeah, I mean, it will still be sound, but it feels like it's missing something again. Yeah, I think
So then it
it's just
should be
better
ataf bayan.
that Atuf Bayan sounds better because it's more clear, like it's adding more information to the statement. Which statement are you talking about? It's not just because Allah has many statements. The whole Quran is his statement. Which statement particularly are you talking about? This particular statement from Surah Al-An'am, that is what he's talking about. So it kind of like provides more information on the kind of qawl that is speaking about. Sayyidina Samia says, can we take min dhalika as khabar? Sometimes, yeah. So you have some grammarians who actually look at, they don't even say muta'alliq bil khabar. They will just say min dhalika khabar. So they will take the muta'alliq, they will just consider that in the bucket of khabar because something that is connected to the khabar is essentially a khabar. So they will just put it in one bucket. So you might actually see that in some grammar books where the jar majroor, they will just call it khabar. And I'm sure you've come across tafsirs where they will say jar majroor khabar. And you'll be like, well, what? Yeah, they would do that sometimes. So that kind of happens. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can take this as the khabar bucket. No problem with that. Okay. Yeah, so we figured whatever comes after Ta'ala, this whole surah that is being quoted is basically the atif bayan of قوله. Okay, so this whole part, this surah, is the عطف بيان of قوله. Right? And then you have فاستعمل الفعل. فاستعمل الفعل. So استعمل is فعل ماضي from استغفر family. That's why it ends with استعمل, استغفر. And the فاعل is the inside pronoun هو. هو استعمل. ماذا استعمل? What did he use? What did it use? يعني the Quran الفعل, the verb. So here we have, this is a فعل and فاعل, and الفعل is a مفعول به مع الحي, and of course this is a متعلق بالفعل. This is a very simple جملة فعلية. So استعمل الفعل مع الحي. This is exactly what we expect. You know, when we talk about جملة فعلية, فعل فاعل مفعول به متعلق بالفعل. Perfect جملة, easy peasy lemon squeezy, no complications here. So this is like back to basics type of sentence when we were learning sentence construction. So we learned فعل فاعل مفعول به متعلق بالفعل. This is what we have here. Alhamdulillah for such sentences once in a while, right? No complications. So فقال, you can see this حرف عطف connecting this sentence استعمل to قال. So he used the فعل مع الحي with حي. So he said, yeah. So he said قال, again another simple جملة فعلية with قال فعل and فاعل. All right. So he said, and what did he say? يخرج. This is مقول القول في محل نسب of قال. What did he say? يخرج. That's what he said. Okay. And then واستعمل. So this استعمل connected to this استعمل also. You can see فاستعمل واستعمل. So this is connected with حرف عطف. Wow. And then again another simple جملة فعلية here. We have to be grateful for such, easy sentences. Alhamdulillah. So استعمل again فعل and فاعل. الاسم is again أو مفعول به, similar same sentence structure. مع الميت جار مجرور متعلق بالفعل. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. فقال, we've already covered فقال. فقال مخرج, and also مخرج here would be مقول القول of قال. All right. So that's so far so good. Alhamdulillah. All right. Then we have وذلك لأن أبرز صفات الحي الحركة والتجدد. So وذلك, this is our first رفع. So this is going to be our مبتدا. And then whatever comes after it is going to be our خبر. So ذلك, so this is the beginning of our خبر. And inside that خبر, we have another جملة اسمية. So we have لأن is the sister of أن, of إن and أن. Yeah. So this is together with its اسم form our مبتدا. And then أبرز is اسم تفضيل. And here, because it comes with a مضاف إليه, it's going to be أفضل التفضيل. It's going to be superlative. Right? So this whole structure is it still in kind of like one bucket. So أبرز صفات الحي. So أبرز اسم تفضيل, صفات is مضاف إليه because أبرز is مضاف, and then صفات is also like al is a مضاف and الحي is a مضاف إليه. So we have a chain إضافة here, and this whole part forms our مبتدا. So this whole chain is our مبتدا, and that's why الحركة والتجدد is our خبر of that. That's why it is رفع. Okay, and of course تجدد is معطوف to حركة. Are we clear so far? Is that good?
Sister Ilham, then how would you translate is and that لأن and that because
That
it's the
is
most
because.
then when it comes is, then it should be not like when is is coming in the middle, it shouldn't be like khabar.
When the is coming, yeah. So this whole, where this bracket is starting is the khabar of ذلك.
Okay, then inside the khabar again there is a mubtada. So that is because of
Yes. Inside the khabar, there's another mubtada and a khabar. There's another jumla ismiya inside the khabar.
so the khabar ends with tajaddud, right?
No. Okay, yeah, you can look at it. You can look at it as it ends there, and then this fa is, you know, just a new sentence. Or you can actually look at this fa is continuing this sentence. So either way, I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we can stop there. Let's stop there so that we don't make the sentence too long. We can say that that's the end of the khabar. وذلك لأن أبرز صفات الحي الحركة والتجدد. full stop. فجاء معه بالصيغة الفعلية الدالة على الحركة والتجدد. So we can say حرف استئناف here. So جاء فعل ماضي. The فاعل is the inside pronoun هو. معه this is متعلق number one. بالصيغة الفعلية صيغة الفعلية الدالة this is موصوف صفة. Okay, so this is متعلق number two, and that متعلق number two you have الصيغة الفعلية الدالة على. So this is one connected chain because this is صفة number one, صفة number two of الصيغة. So الصيغة is the موصوف, الفعلية is صفة number one, الدالة is صفة number two. And of course الدالة comes with حرف جر على, is married to حرف جر على. Alright, so therefore this على الحركة والتجدد is متعلق to الدالة. Alright, so you can see that this sentence here is just a sentence of جار مجرورs. جاء معه جار مجرور number one, بالصيغة الفعلية جار مجرور number two, الدالة على الحركة والتجدد is kind of like another جار مجرور inside a جار مجرور. Yeah. Sometimes you have sentences like this. So sometimes you have استعمل الفعل مع الحي, simple جملة فعلية, and sometimes you have فجاء معه بالصيغة الفعلية الدالة على الحركة والتجدد. Yeah.
This متعلق this is متعلق to دالة, right? It indicates what? It indicates the movement and
Yes.
renewal, right, Sister Ilham? Correct,
Yeah,
right?
so this
Okay.
على is specifically متعلق to الدالة.
Okay.
It's
So that-
متعلق to دالة. Yeah. Any other questions? All right. Then he adds another reason. So, or you can even just look at this واو as also واو استئنافية, beginning a new sentence. ولأن الميت في حالة همود وسكون وثبات. لأن الميت, again together, لأن and its اسم. Of course, some people, maybe just for revision purposes, some people have looked at لأن as comprised of حرف جر لي and حرف نسب أن. So they will say that حرف جر لام beat on حرف نسب أن, and then that became مجرور, but then أن is اسم نسب and it beat on الميتة and الميتة became منسوب. They will look at it like that. But just to avoid complications, we learned it as one composite. We learned it as لأن. You know, I'm just mentioning it just in case you come across it in a book, you don't get shocked, like your world doesn't collapse. Because some of the things you know, in the beginning when I was reading some of these things, I was like, what? I did not learn it like that, and my whole world was collapsing. But then you realize, you know, there's more than two ways to look at something. What do they say? They're killing a bird with one stone or something like that. Oh, yeah. Anyway, you can look at something in different ways, from different angles, but it will still be the same thing. So لأن الميت together, that forms our مبتدا, and then في حالة همود وسكون وثبات, you can see the beginning of a جار مجرور, حرف جار في. حالتي is the اسم مجرور, but حالتي is light no al, so this is a مضاف, and همود is a مضاف إليه. And then you have حرف عطف واو, سكون is معطوف to همود, and then ثبات is معطوف to سكون. So this whole bucket is a giant jar مجرور. So you have just a مبتدا and a متعلق بالخبر. Or you can look at this jar مجرور as a خبر as well. As we've mentioned, some books will look at it like that. All right. Yeah. Is it most prominent or one of the most prominent? Let's see. لأن أبرز صفات الحي, the most prominent, because you can see الحي is it has al on it, so the most, so that's where we get the from. because the mudaf ilay has al on it. So that al, the properness will be transferred to the mudaf. So we'll say that is because the most prominent feature or the most prominent attribute.
I'm not debating whether it is superlative or not. I'm just
Yeah.
debating, should we put in the one off because we have sifat, a plural?
Oh, okay.
Because, yeah, because it is not sifa, it is sifat.
Yeah, one of the most prominent. Yes, you're right. One of the most prominent. Yeah, we can add one of the most. And that is because one of the most prominent features or attributes of life is movement. Yes, you're right. So because abraza came with plural, then it signifies like one of, like not the entire thing. Like if I said لأن أبرز صفة, that would be the most prominent feature. But because it's a plural, yes, you're right, then we will say one of the most prominent features. Yeah. Good observation there. Good call. All right. Where are we? Any other questions or clarifications? Okay, so ولأن الميت في حالة همود وسكون وثبات, we figured that's our مبتدأ and this is our متعلق بالخبر. I'm trying to understand something here. Okay.
Is it the sifa? Is this fi halatin humud the sifa of mayyit?
I wouldn't look at it as sifa.
I don't remember. Can a proper take a jar majroor as a sifa? I don't know.
Yeah, both. I think jar
Both?
majroor takes both, if I'm not wrong.
Both. So
Yeah.
can we say that mayyat, which is the state of calmness, stillness, stability, it came with... No, it can't be, because there's a
No.
ma'u here, right? There's a ma'u here.
Yeah.
So it's a separate sentence, yeah.
So I'm gonna explain something, but I just wanted to confirm. Okay, so no, it comes with common. I just wanted to confirm this. Idafa is the one that comes with both proper and common. But jar majroor comes with common. Yeah, I need to confirm that. Yeah, so here even meaning-wise doesn't make sense as a sifa. But so remember when I said li'anna, they look at it as harf of jar. So this is kind of like the case. So جاء معه بالصيغة الاسمية الدالة على الثبات لأن الميت في حالة همود وسكون وثبات. That's kind of like how the sentence is supposed to be. Like this is the beginning of the sentence and then this is the end. But because, that's how, for some reason, Arabs decided they're going to be speaking like that. So they would bring the jar majroor ahead and then they'll bring the sentence later. So this لأن الميت, this is again another giant jar majroor up to there. So that's a متعلق بالفعل. لأن الميت في حالة همود وسكون وثبات is متعلق بthis فعل جاء. So he brought with it the nominal sentence that deals with الثبات, with permanence. Why? Because الميت في حالة همود وسكون وثبات. So this is لام التعليل, لام of because. Or you can even in English, you can translate it the way it is. ولأن الميت في حالة همود وسكون وثبات. And because the dead is in the state of, still motionless and stillness and permanence, he brought with it the nominal form that indicates establishment. So you see how in both languages it can work. You can either say he brought this because this, or you can say because this, he brought this. I don't know if I made sense. or if I confused you further.
No, you made sense. But the thing is, you use a pronoun when the thing has been already mentioned before. So if you place this sentence, Ja'a ma'ahu, then who is
Mm.
not going to anything else because the mayyat is coming afterwards.
I didn't quite understand.
Like, for example, you use a pronoun, when something has been mentioned earlier, right?
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
don't want to repeat it again and again. So if you
Yeah.
bring this sentence forward, like Ja'a ma'ahu, then you might wonder, what is this who? And then later on, you say, we're talking about mayyat. So it doesn't make any sense,
No, that's why I was just explaining. You see, because it came after, you needed a pronoun. But if it came up before, you just say جاء بالصيغة الاسمية الدالة على الثبات لأن الميت في حالة همود. That's how you would say it. But because he made the sentence like this, that's why you have a pronoun, right?
Yeah.
This who indicates this whole mutalik bil fi'l system now.
Yes, whatever came before it. Or
So
yeah,
this is ja is this whole is mutalik bil fi'l, and ma'hu is again another mutalik to ja.
yes,
Okay.
yeah. So one was before, one was after.
When we translate this, the who doesn't get translated.
No,
When you, yeah. So,
yeah, it doesn't
so
get translated.
why
I mean,
is
you can
that?
try and translate it, or you can say he brought with it. I mean, sometimes some people speak
No,
like
no,
that.
no. It doesn't sound right if you translate.
Yeah.
I need some clarity here.
No.
Because if you say mahu, okay, this is mutallaq bil fi'l, and are you taking fi halatin hamud wa sukun wa sabat also as mutallaq bil fi'l ja'a?
No, no. The li'anna, from li'anna, that whole
No.
fragment of li'anna is what is we're taking at muta'alliq bil fi'l of ja'a. But inside that muta'alliq, there's a
Oh,
mubtada and a muta'alliq bil khabar.
yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So can we take a sentence as a mutallaq also? This is something new I'm learning.
Yeah, there's the harf jar lam. You know, that's why I said we
Oh,
learned as lam
okay.
li'anna. We learned it as a composite, but it's actually lam harf of jar and then anna. Yeah. So that's kind of what is happening here.
MashaAllah.
And you also said this was lam tali.
Yes, lamu ta'lil, lamu because. It gives a reason. Lamu ta'lil. Any other questions? All right. So جاء معه, we said معه is a muta'alliq number one. Well, actually there's a bunch of muta'alliqs here, like we've uncovered. بالصيغة, there's another muta'alliq. And الصيغة الاسمية الدالة, again, موصوف صفة here happening. So this is our موصوف. And then صفة number one, صفة number two, just like we saw in بالصيغة الفعلية الدالة على. And of course, على الثبات, this is متعلق to الدالة because على is married to الدالة. So yeah, so sometimes you get very basic, simple jumla fi'aliyas, and sometimes you get this. I don't know. Same
Sister
author,
Neha,
but yes.
what I was thinking is, I didn't think that way because I don't know the much meaning of this sentence. What I was thinking, sabatin is as a common, and ja'a, it will come because the sentence is starting from there. There we have invisible ism mausul like alladhi or allati, that we can translate that. Why would it be not like that?
Because it would be, it's not a sifa, because then it has to make sense. It's not a permanence that he brought, right? It's that he brought the concept of fi'aliyya to indicate this. It's not the permanence that he brought. So if, for example, I say, ثبات الذي جاء, it will be like permanence that he brought. I don't know if that making any difference.
Why? Because it is ma'atuf ala sukun, and it's also ma'atuf ala halatin, and halatin is related to this mayyit. So it will not be like whole one bunch, which is mawsuf to this one.
Okay. Okay. So the state.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking at the whole state as the موصوف. Okay, let's
Yeah.
see if that is possible. لأن الميت في حالة همود وسكون وثبات.
It's not an explanation, right?
No.
Fire is like an explanation. So it is explaining the mayyat. It is not
Yeah.
explaining the state of the mayyat. It is explaining the mayyat. Mayyat is coming in ismiya.
Not
So you
state.
Right.
Say not state. I'm saying this all are matuf along each other. All
yeah,
right.
but
And
you
then
know,
one second. Let me explain you. Let me make it clear to you. لأن الميت, this all, which it bought with it, the sighatul ismiya, this all he bought it with the sigha of ismiya, which is indicating on the permanence. This one I was thinking, which he bought, and he was indicating what all was there before. So I was thinking this all is the mawsuf which he bought it to indicate this. He used that sigha as ismiya. I'm not
But
saying
how-
this is a state. I'm not saying this is a state and he is describing the state. No, this whole part is describing and it bought it. So is it a right way to think, Sister Ilham? I was just saying.
So if you think like that, then you have to be able to translate it in that same way. So first of all, how would you translate لأن? So that's an important thing. And then how would you translate? Because if you're saying that جاء, this whole sentence, جاء معه بصيغة الإسمية is the sifa of حالة همود, then it has to also translate that way. It has to translate as a mawsuf sifa. So let's try and figure out if we can be able to translate that. So وَلِأَنَّ, how would we translate that?
And Sister
لأن
Samia, I'm so sorry. I just cut you off. I was continuing
problem.
myself so that I will not forget what I was saying.
No problem. No problem. It happens with me also. I'm in the same bucket.
It's fine. It's fine. We need to figure out where the blocks are so that we can unblock them. So, and because the dead are in a state of, I'm just gonna use one because there's no need of wa. It will just make the sentence long and maybe not make it easy for us to understand. So let's, motionless. Which motionless, okay, motionless, that makes more sense. That he brought the, we can say the noun. I'm just going to make it simple. Okay. And of course, there's another sifa here that indicates permanence. So I'm making it very simple so that we can understand how to break this. Now, if I just said this sentence like, and because the dead are in a state of motionless, that he brought the noun that indicates permanence. Does that sentence sound right? Motionless, that he brought the noun that indicates permanence.
No.
Yeah. So you see, if you do the i'rab slightly wrong, then the meaning also shifts. So, but if I did the i'rab the way that we just did, and because the dead are in a state of motionless, comma, he brought. So now you see where the jumla begins, and because the dead are in a state of motionless, this is my muta'alliq. So because it's muta'alliq, I'm not going to make it like a mawsuf sifa. So I'm just going to say he brought the noun that indicates permanence.
Subhanallah, Sister Ilham, just one thing. It is changing the complete.
Exactly. That's why i'rab is so important. And especially when it comes to the Quran, if you just misunderstand the i'rab, you're going to misunderstand the words of Allah. May Allah protect us, Just one word. If you just, the conditions fit. The conditions fit, you can see it is nakira, بعدها الجملة. The conditions are right, but does it make sense? Or is it, and sometimes you can even find that it makes sense, but is it what Allah intended? You see, now that's the other question, and that's why we need to read tafsir and to leave the meanings of the Quran to those who understand. I mean, it's a matter of ijtihad. Even them, they're doing ijtihad when they're coming up with the meanings, but they are at a level where they have learned and they have understood. You know, we cannot just come from our basic levels and say, oh, Allah, this is what Allah meant in this ayah because the Arab is like this and like that and like that, and this is the meaning I'm getting from it. We have to go with it. That's why when I'm doing my Surah Al-Qamar, I go to Darwish, I get my Arab from Darwish. Or I do the Arab and then I compare notes with Darwish and say, okay, we are matching. So if we don't match with Darwish, if I don't match with Darwish, I take his and I leave mine because who am I and what do I know, right? So that
So
is the
Adnan,
importance.
that means this, it's not necessary that if you find common, the next should be a sifa or something. Because always what we find is
Yes,
that it's like it should make sense also many times.
100%. 100%. It should make sense. Yeah, it should make sense.
You know, sometimes in this class, I feel like we're going smoothly, and sometimes feel like something new only comes out, something new. All the time, it was in my mind like it will be a common. The next sentence starts, then we have to take it as a sifa. It's a common, easy peasy. Just take it away and do it.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's
But
the
it's not.
problem of looking at language as a bunch of rules. And, that's how we have learned it anyway. We learned it as a bunch of set rules. If you see something that is light and no al, that's a mudaf straight away. If you see something that is matching in four properties, mawsuf sifa. If you see something that is looking like this, then this. So we have been conditioned in our way of learning the language, which is an easy way. I don't like. I'm not saying that that's the wrong way of learning. I'm saying that that's how we learned, and it has its pros and it has its it has its advantages and disadvantages. Advantages is that it is the easiest way of learning Arabic. Like subhanallah, we did this, but the downside of it is that now it puts us in a fixed mindset. Now we have to train ourselves how to get out of that mindset and realize it just doesn't mean that. Like, how Ustad kept saying 99.99%? And we hear him say that, but we don't come across the 0.0001%. So we assume he actually means 100%. So we need to train ourselves to watch out for the 0.001%. That's what we need to do. Yeah. Yeah, alhamdulillah. And I think we're already at time, so there's no point in us starting a new paragraph unless you guys, I don't know, because there's like 2 more paragraphs remaining.
The next paragraph is almost the same. We can finish it in 1 minute.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Yeah, it's connected, so we can just finish that. And then tomorrow we can just start page 27 with this new small thing that is remaining. Okay. Then you can read for us, Rosie. Since you already started with us, you can finish.
قد تقول ولماذا قال في سورة آل عمران وتخرج الحي من الميت وتخرج الحي من الميت وتخرج الميت من الحي بالصيغة الدالة على التجدد في الموزنين
في موطنين.
موزنين
موطن واحد، موطنين اثنان. 2 of them. Yeah. So yeah, oops, what did I just do? Okay, yeah. So that's similar, like you said, it just continues from what you said. قد تقول ولماذا قال في سورة آل عمران وتخرج الحي من الميت. This is a typo here. The ميت وتخرج الميت من الحي بالصيغة الدالة على التجدد في الموطنين. So he says, you could say, why then did Allah mention in Surah Al Imran, in both cases, he used بصيغة الدالة على التجدد in both cases? Why did he use the جملة فعلية in both cases of death and life, of the dead and the living? So he used both, like you see, تخرج الحي, تخرج الميت. So you see, both cases are جملة فعلية. This happens in the Quran. So why is it that Allah used this particular makeup sentence structure in Surah Ali Imran? So now he's anticipating somebody, you know, like arguing with him, because now he brought out the argument that Jumla Fi'aliyah comes with something that is motion, it has a lot of haraka, movement, it has renewal. That is Jumla Fi'aliyah. And then that's why he paired Jumla Fi'aliyah with the living, and he paired Jumla Ismiyah with the dead, because the dead is motionless, it's still, it's permanent. But now we have an ayah in the Quran in Surah Ali Imran that tukhrijul hayy, it's both coming with both the dead and the living, is coming with a verb, something that indicates movement. So how do we explain that? So he's anticipating a challenge. He's anticipating somebody questioning his statement, because he made a statement and now somebody could argue, like, wait a second, why in Surah Ali Imran this happened? And now he's going to answer that particular challenge in the next paragraphs. Okay, so that inshallah tomorrow we'll discuss why that is the case, or why he thinks that is the case. Because again, these are the opinions and ijtihad of Dr. Fadel. We cannot take this and say this is exact. I mean, there are other scholars who have agreed with most of what he said. There's some scholars who disagreed with what he said. So we have to also, again, have an open mind. What he's saying is mind-blowing, no doubt. All right. But then again, you know, we have to be very careful and cautious and read other books as well, you know, or expound in our knowledge. So let's look at the i'rab. Again, the i'rab here is not so difficult. So qad, we've covered qad so many times. Means already if it comes with a madi. If it comes with a mudari', it means might. So here we can see it comes with mudari', so it comes with a meeting. You might say, or you could say, you could argue that, right? تقول فعل مضارع. This is جملة فعلية here. The فاعل is أنت تقول. What do you say? Whatever is in the brackets here is the مقول القول of تقول. Now the inside that مفعول به مقول القول, you have a question. لماذا is a question word. So لماذا, that's استفهام. لماذا قال فعل ماضي is a فعل في سورة آل عمران. So this is a متعلق بالفعل to قال, متعلق بقال. And then again you have inside that you have a statement which is the مقول القول. This ayah of Allah is the مقول القول مفعول به. What did he say? وتخرج الحي من الميت وتخرج الميت من الحي بالصيغة الدالة على التجدد في موطنين. And بالصيغة الدالة على التجدد, this whole part is a متعلق بالفعل number 1 في موطنين, متعلق بالفعل number 2. Okay, and we've covered بالصيغة الدالة على التجدد. That one came before, you know. في موطنين, in
Is it
both
one or
cases.
two? Isn't Surah Al Imran also MBF?
Yes. Oh,
it is-
okay. So there's more MBFs here. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Lots of MB, lots of متعلقs. Wow. Yeah. So this is our متعلق بالفعل number 1. Yeah.
Big families. We have grandfather, grandmother, grandson, everybody.
Yeah. Lots of. SubhanAllah. That's, yeah. By the way, you notice that Arabic has they use a lot of jar majroor. Like jar majroor is the giant of Arabic language. Like if you just compile jar majroor, you'd see that is the main topic. More than fi'als, more than nouns, more than the other stuff. Jar majroor is, yeah. If you understand jar majroor, you understand like 80% of Arabic. So you can see. Anyway. في موطنين, موطن is one place, موطنين, 2 places. So in both instances, you can say, or in both places, why did he use the form that indicates tajaddud? In other words, why did he use جملة فعلية in both cases? Yeah, in both cases, meaning in the case of the living and in the case of the dead. Why did he do that? Okay, let's see here in the chat. Great. Oh, leaving you with a cliffhanger. Yes, I'm leaving you with a cliffhanger. Yeah, until tomorrow, inshallah, where we'll figure out why this is the case. Why does he say, why does he use both the dead for the dead and for the living? Why does he use the verb? And tomorrow we shall uncover what Dr. Fadil thinks. Unless there's any other question or clarification or comments. Great. I think that's a good place to end. We can stop there. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته